Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. It's getting to the business end of the season and it is crunch time in the race for the Ligue title. You can see with 10 games to go we have a 5-point lead over Marseille, who we face in today's episode, and a 7-point lead over the holders PSG. We've got 3 really tough games in the league today against Lyon, who are currently sat in 6th, Nice, who are in 5th, and then Marseille in 2nd. And I'm also going to play both legs of the Champions League quarter-final against Chelsea as well. But these 3 games in the league are absolutely massive and could be title defining. This is the competition that I want the most this year, to dethrone PSG and win the Ligue title. We are to win this Ligue title come the end of the season. I have a feeling that this episode is going to have a massive effect on that. 3 really huge games in the league. If we can get through today's episode and still have a couple of points lead at the top of the table, we're going to be in a great position to go all the way. Can we get it done though? That is the big question on everyone's lips. Really tough game starting off here against Lyon. Could be a chance here. Openda rolls his man. Lois Openda forces the first save out of Anthony Lopez, who was absolutely superb against us in the reverse fixture. Dennis into the middle. Might fall to Ramiro. Herrera always found its way in. Wearing the armband today. Ramiro Herrera round the back stick. Heads home. And Anthony Lopez can't keep it out. What a start for RC Lens. Corner was floated into the middle. Marquinhos attacked it. I think it was a Lyon head that made contact, and Herrera just ghosts in round the back, nobody picking him up, heads it back towards goal. Lopez does get a touch on it but can't keep it out alongside the man on the post. Ramiro's first goal of the season, and what a time to get it. We lead inside 10 minutes. Now Lyon breaking the other way. Soppy doesn't get there. Big chance this. Squared across and they're level. Still tied at 1-1 at the break. Chances for both sides. I wouldn't want to call this. I have no idea which way this is going to go. We have been superb in the second half of this season, but can we carry that on here? Clerk into Moses. Rounds his man. Moses! There's the goal. You saw around Lopez. That's the way to get the ball past him. And rounds it off into the open net. Moses with another important goal here. Moses coming infield as he does. Looks to slip it through to Lois Openda to seal it. Game done. Lois Openda with another as he closes in on 40. Another assist for Moses, who's been superb today. And our first test of the episode is going to see us pick up our first 3 points. Brilliant ball through by the Nigerian into Openda, and it was never in doubt. Game over. There's the whistle, and you may have just caught it in the top left. That is actually goal number 40 for Lois Openda. Now joins Victor Osimhen in the 40 club, and what a season he has had. But we don't want it to be in vain. We want that title to come with it. Here is this next huge game then against Nice. We played out a cracker at their place. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what the score was. I think we may have won it, but I know there was a lot of goals. I'm expecting the same here, to be honest. Oh, that's really poor by Fernandez. Richarlison. Shot comes in and Nice take the lead. Really poor from the goal kick. And we find ourselves a goal down here. Not lost since that game against Stade Rennais. We've been on a really good run of form, but we find ourselves a goal down here with some work to do. Free kick for Nice. Swung to the edge. Still they will keep it alive. Given away now to Marquinhos. Moses. We look to build forward here. Soppy into Moses. Takes the ball in his stride and releases Renato Sanchez, who has Dennis at the back stick if he can pick him out, which he does. Back on level terms, a swift counter-attack, and Noah Dennis is on hand to tap home at the back stick. We are tied at 1-1 at the break. PSG actually play later on this evening, so after us. So if we don't win and PSG do win, it will close the gap and put a little bit of pressure on us. We would love to find a second goal in this second half. Here's Noah Dennis, and there's the whistle. Not much to report in the second half, and the spoils are shared on this occasion. It's a pretty respectable point against a team having a good season. But with PSG playing this evening, they could potentially close the gap on us. We now turn our focus to the Champions League, where we will host Chelsea in the first leg of our quarter-final. All right then, guys, it's Chelsea at home. And I was tempted to just sim this one, as we've been doing with most of the games in the Champions League, but there's so much riding on this. Obviously, it's a Champions League quarter-final, but there's so many stories between the two clubs as well. We know the history with Chelsea in this save. Obviously, I managed there. We seem to play them every single season. No matter where we've been, we always seem to be drawn against them. Of course, we've got Victor Osimhen squaring off against his now fellow 40-goal club member, Lois Openda. Javi Carmona, who was one of the Ecuadorians who came through the academy at Roma. We've got Renato Sanchez, who scored that absolute cracker for us for Bayer Leverkusen to knock Chelsea out of the competition. And of course, as I mentioned, we obviously won the Champions League. The only Champions League we've won in this save at Stamford Bridge with Chelsea. Here goes Leon Clerc. Run from midfield has Renato square, and it does make its way to Renato, who finishes it off. I thought Christensen might get a touch, but he didn't get there, and RC Lens take the lead. We have been on such good form in this second half of the season. Can we see it out now? Carmona. Fouled by Herrera, his Ecuadorian teammate, and Chelsea will have a free kick here. Reece James is over it, and we know that he can hit them. Marquinhos is going to make his way back to the line. Reece James, Marquinhos off the line, but Cucurella scores the rebound. The AI is so dangerous from free kicks with these sliders. I knew I had to get back on the line, but Cucurella is there to tap in the rebound. I want to see this again. James steps up. It's going in. Marquinhos gets something on it. But Cucurella gets there before Edson Alvarez on the rebound and just gets a boot on it to tap home. Now David brings it forward. Has Openda in support. Lois through to Renato. Can he do it again? Against Chelsea? Yes, he can. Renato Sanchez at the death will give us a lead to take to Stamford Bridge. Brilliant counter-attacking goal. And RC Lens are going to be victorious in this first leg. Brilliant from Renato again. Not quite as good as the goal that he did score against Chelsea when we were at Leverkusen, but they all count the same. And Renato Sanchez's brace will be enough to see us victorious in this first leg. He loves playing against Chelsea, does Renato Sanchez. You can see from the stats how tight of a game this was. Just the 5 shots in the entirety of the game. But that late goal does mean that we have 1 foot in the semi-finals. And we will take a 2-1 lead back to the bridge. Well, here we are at the Velodrome. Pretty much every time we have played against Marseille, it's been a cracker. There is so much riding on this game. Whoever wins this, if there is to be a winner, will take a huge step towards the Ligue 1 title. As I mentioned, so many classics against Marseille in the 2 years that we've been here. I think there's been 2 4-3s, just so many goals in just a few meetings between the two sides. I'm expecting more today and lots of goals once again. And here goes Lois Openda, surely not. Keeper slightly off his line and Lois bends it home. What a start from RC Lens. The keeper started to come. Lois saw that and just finesses it around him and into the back of the net. What a start. Just so much space in the defence. It's not even quite in the corner. It's more over the keeper than around him. But Openda just opens his body up, finesses it past him. And we know that Marseille will score lots of goals, but we've taken the lead here. And the first blow is from RC Lens, looking for a second goal here. Moses looking to get away from Gaia. He's got the pace, Moses. Gets to the byline and pulls it across, and the defender just about gets something on it. We need this second goal whilst we're on top. Corner swung in. Alvarez looking to attack it. Comes to Leon Clerc. Rabona, surely not. Over the top and comfortable. Played short to Christopher Ayer. Loses out to Openda. Keeper off his line again, and this time it's off the woodwork. We need that second goal before we head into the break, and I don't think we're going to find one. Renato through the gap. Soppy! Oh, what a finish! Brandon makes it 2. And we do have our 2-goal lead. Brandon Soppy with, I think, his second of the year. And what a time to get it. We have been superb in this first half. Just lifted into Brandon. And on the half volley, picks out the bottom corner. What a time to score our second goal. Well, we've been by far the better team in this one. Soppy on the run again. If we get a third, it could be curtains. Dennis is in the middle, and there's our third. Is that Marseille out of the title race now? Noah Dennis coming up when it matters. Soppy this time turning provider. And Dennis makes it 3 at the back stick. Powers the header home. No chance for the keeper. And Marseille just haven't turned up. Thuram tackled well, but Traore picks it up. And Soppy, oh, he's not got there. What a save by Kramer. Not sure he knew much about it, but gets himself in the way. Marquinhos now wins it back. And Moses will come away down the right. Can we hit them with the sucker punch? Should have been 3-1. Now it's Leon. Heavy touch and can't find a teammate. Oh, it won't matter anyway. Mix up at the back, and that just sums up Marseille today. It's 4. And Noah Dennis has his second. Terrible defending from Marseille. Here's Taiwo. Guerrero making the run. It's brilliant build-up. And Guerrero much prefers an assist. And Taiwo makes it 5. This is shambolic from Marseille. And I think just the damage that this defeat will do could see them ruled out of the title race from here on in. 5-0. And that is going to be so damaging to their players. Will they be able to pick themselves up, or is it now a 2-horse race? Our boys are looking for more out there as well. Taiwo wants another. Looks for Adama Traore against his former team. Shows the respect, but taps in at the back post to make it 6. This is not what I was expecting from Marseille today. They have been so poor. Awonyi gets away, finds Adama. And Adama notches up his first goal in the league. And that will surely do it. The referee is going to put Marseille out of their misery. 6-0 to RC Lens. What a statement from my players. And as I've mentioned, boos ringing around the home ground. And I think that could be curtains for Marseille in this title race. 6-0. What a victory for RC Lens. Alright then guys, it is my return once again to Stamford Bridge. A place that will forever be in my heart. And as we head out of the tunnel here, we of course have that 2-1 aggregate lead and are 90 minutes from the semi-finals. It's not our priority this year, but I would love to make it through to the Final Four. That previous game against Marseille was just absolutely mental. I can't believe how one-sided it was. Marseille was so poor. I'm expecting a much tougher test from Chelsea here in their own back garden. But if we play as well as we did in that first leg, then there is no reason we can't make it through to the semis. Here's Clerc, goes for the dink, and Ramsdale stands up well and gets something on it. Zubimendi goes big, looking for Osimhen, who gets it down. Marquinhos just about back at him, but Osimhen still has it onto his left peg. Brilliant from the Nigerian. And Dan Kramer forced into the save. Fernandes now back to his feet, but Chelsea playing on with Pedri. Into Victor Osimhen, who hits it. And it's turned away by Dan Kramer. Chances for both teams in this first half, but still no breakthrough. Havertz heads on, and Kramer will gather as we enter the break at 0-0. Well, Fernandes substituted at half-time because of that knock. Looked like it may have been a shoulder injury, but that probably means he's done his ACL because FIFA just makes sense like that. Merlin is brought on at left back. Oh, there's a chance here for James away down the right. Merlin just getting out to him now. Still James. Pegs it back to Osimhen, who was never going to miss. He now has his say on this tie. Victor Osimhen draws Chelsea level on aggregate. What a strike from the Nigerian. James down the right, and as soon as this was played into Osimhen, we were in trouble. Rifles it into the top corner. Through the legs of Kai Havertz, and Chelsea back on level terms, and Stamford Bridge is rocking. Sanchez, oh, quick 1-2 straight from kickoff. Renato in behind. Sanchez, he's done it again against Chelsea. Silences the home crowd. And Renato Sanchez just loves a goal against Chelsea. He's done it again. It's his third of the tie. Racing away and has the finish to go with it. Potentially one final chance for Chelsea if they get it forward quickly. James. And there is the whistle. They won't have time. Renato Sanchez single-handedly dragging us through to the semi-finals. I've come back to my old stomping ground and beaten whoever this baldy is to knock Chelsea out and make it into the Final Four. So I believe the Champions League draw will be made on this Friday as we head through to Saturday's fixture. So who will we take on in the semi-finals? It will be RC Lens against Barcelona. Interesting. Okay. We've not faced Barcelona, I believe, since Season 1 when we were at Atletico Madrid. If there's any die-hard lovers of this series, then you can correct me, but I'm sure we've not faced Barca since Season 1 with Atleti, so I'm excited to face them once again. The other semi-final tie will see Italians Juventus take on Germans Bayern Munich. So we've got 4 semi-finalists from 4 of the top 5 European leagues. Nobody from England in the Final Four. But that is where we will leave today's episode, guys. As you can see, with 7 games remaining, you'd say it's now potentially just a 2-horse race between ourselves and PSG. A 5-point gap between the two of us and 7 games to go. The final run-in is going to be so tight, you won't want to miss it, guys. So make sure to keep an eye out. I hope to catch you for the next episode very soon, and peace.